you our fears. We know that you are faithful to deliver. We give you all the praise. Help us, Holy Spirit, in ways that only you can, and glorify yourself, eternal King. Thank you, Master. In Jesus' name, amen. You may be seated. Thank you so much, man of God. I'm truly delighted to be here this morning again. And I want to say that I sincerely admire your wife and yourself. Amazing. Amazing. Pastor Chooks and Doctor, they are an amazing combination. And particularly today, their outfit is making me look like I need help. I was thinking about it, that it's like I need help. How can people be dressing like this and I'm dressing like this? What kind of thing is this? I'm convinced this morning that I need help. Yesterday I was not sure. I was still thinking. But today now I'm convinced. Pastor, help me. Doctor, please. Tumabo. Coach, help me. And I want to also say that you have an amazing worship grace, man of God. Amazing worship grace. I've not seen you worship like this before, but, there's an amazing unction there. Yeah. So, yesterday, Pastor and I spoke. The assignment today was to teach for 1 hour, and then we have a Q&A for 30 minutes. And I appealed to him last night, can we please teach for 30 minutes instead and do the Q&A for 1 hour? Okay. Yesterday we taught for over 1 hour, and I think we were able to build some foundational elements last night. This morning, I think it's important to allow God's people ventilate, because sometimes the issues that you may be addressing may not be hitting the peculiar needs of people, especially when it comes to economic empowerment. Is that okay? And this morning again, I want to touch on two foundational issues. You must forgive me that every time I've been called here, I know 2 years ago when I was called here too, I was dealing with a lot of foundational issues. And I know many of you wanted to just hear, tell us, how did you make your first 10 million? Just leave all this foundation. Leave this foundation. What? 10 million, 10 million. Right? But the things that we are teaching you here are things that will give you 10 million and more. Will give you a happy home. Will give you a fruitful ministry. Will give you a fulfilling life. Because if all you have is money, you are a very poor man. I'm sure you know that. If all that you have is money, you are a very, very poor man. Money is not the prerequisite for riches. Many of you think that one of the major ingredients of wealth or economic empowerment is money. Money is not even in the first 5 prerequisites for riches. Did you get that? In the first what? In the first 5 prerequisites for what? So when you are looking at the things that makes for a wealthy man, money doesn't come within the first 5 currencies of wealth. And I can give you some. I know some of you are wondering, if money is not in the first 5, then what is it in the first 5? Number 1 is time. One of the currencies for wealth is time. Number 2, one of the currencies of wealth is relationship, network. Number 3, one of the most powerful currencies for wealth is opportunities. Opportunities. And while we're here, let me say this, that your life is simply an expression of what you have done or not done with opportunities. Where you are now, exactly where you are now, the money you owe, the house you are living, the husband you are married to, the children you have, everything that you are right now is a simple reflection of every opportunity that you have embraced or every opportunity that you have lost. It's a painful thing to say, but the truth. So to put it in a simple language, write this down. The trajectory of your life is always determined by opportunities that you hit or the ones that you miss. Simple. So I've just told you why you are where you are today, and I'm trying to tell you what will determine where you will be in exactly 10 years from now. The reason with believers, the problem with believers, I beg your pardon, is that we are more in pursuit of miracles than we are in pursuit of opportunities. And the error is that whenever you pray for a miracle, locked the potential in a simple, almost negligent opportunity. Every possibility of life, write this down. Every possibility for health, happy marriage, good children, every possibility is inside opportunity. As a father, you will have opportunities to teach your children. Many of you missed it. As a mother, you have opportunity to love your children. Many of you missed it. As a friend, you have the opportunity to help someone. Many of you missed it. As a human, you have the opportunity to be kind to someone when it costs you nothing. You don't understand. Many times, the kindness that will unlock your future will cost you nothing. But when you miss it, it will cost you everything. You may have met the person that was going to change the life of your first son, and you miss an opportunity of kindness. Every possibility. I have seen what I'm telling you. There are things I have never lobbied for because seeds were sown into the pockets of opportunity when it cost almost nothing. My wife is here. She will tell you, sometimes I'm on the phone, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., because somebody needs to cry. Somebody is broken. And many of the names, if I call them now, you will hold your head. Powerful people. But I will sit down for 3 hours. They will repeat to me what they have told me 5 times before. But I will listen like I have never heard it before. Wow. Oh, wow. I'm sorry. It is well. It is well. The thing I was talking about, they have told me 5 times before. But it doesn't matter. Because that moment is going to unlock possibilities in the future. When you see me with them, you think I give them 1 million. I didn't give them 1 naira. I just embrace an opportunity. May God open your eyes to see the moments that will change your lives. Every billionaire and every millionaire that you know, take my word for it. I beg you. Believe me. Believe me. Every millionaire that you know did not arrive there by hard work. I'm not saying that hard work is not a prerequisite for greatness. But I'm saying that if everything you have comes from hard work, you are working too hard. If everything you ever are is a result of hard work, then you can't go far, sir. You can't go far. I promise you, you cannot go far. Hard work is one of the tools that is required to align you to the place where you can unlock the real opportunity. So as you labor hard, one of the advantages of labor is that through labor, we position you in a place that opportunity will meet you. But the kind of future you want will not be unlocked by the labor itself. No, that's not how God operates. But if you keep laboring, the labor will keep shifting you closer to the gates of opportunity. You know, I told you last night that certain doors don't respond to keys. They respond to gatekeepers. One of the things that helps you to knock on those doors is the labor. You will labor, but labor will not open the door. You must labor to a point where you find doors of opportunity, windows of transition. I am not surprised. I'm not surprised that Lot missed his window of transition. You know, I'm not surprised. Lot. Lot was picked up by Abraham, a man with low prospects. Abraham saw a future in a man with low prospects because he was sentimental towards his nephew. And Abraham picked Lot. When Abraham picked Lot, remember again that Lot was a man with low prospect. But Abraham did not care because Abraham is a man with foresight. Last night I told you that poor men are men that think short term. Wealthy men always think long term. The other word for long term thinking is foresight. Wealthy people always have foresight and they have oversight. There are two things. Poor people always have short sight and limited sight. There's no time. My wife and I just did a podcast some days ago about what we called focus distraction. And you're wondering, how can distraction be focused? I will not go there now. But I'm just trying to let you know that there is limited sight. You are seeing, but you are seeing too little. Wealthy people, they have foresight and they have oversight. Can I explain what that means to you? Foresight is your ability to see far beyond where you are. And Abraham had to have that capacity because in the covenant he was given, God said to him, look far, what do you see? He said, I see this, I see that. He said, that is how your children will be. So he had to cultivate his mind because he realized that the things that God will bring to him will respond to his ability to see. So Abraham he could see 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 100 years from now. Listen, the reason why many of you are living in sin is not because you don't love God. You love God, but you lack foresight. When you see far enough, you understand that sin will corrupt a future that you desire. Sin is pleasure now, but you sin on credit. Do you realize that? Every sin is credit. But righteousness is pay as you go. You're not following me. Righteousness is what? Is pay. Is prepaid meter. You know prepaid meter? You know NEPA prepaid? For prepaid meter, you pay for the unit first before you use it. In postpaid, you collect unit first, then you pay. Righteousness is prepaid meter. You will pay for righteousness now, and you will enjoy the benefits later. Sin is postpaid. You will enjoy the sin now, and then you will pay in the future. That is why it's only men of short sight that commit to sin, because they don't know that the payment is high. And let me explain to you why sin is dangerous. When you pay for sin, you pay at an inflated rate. Oh God. Listen, to embrace righteousness, it may cost you 10,000 naira to buy righteousness now. But when the enemy presents you with opportunity for sin, he will tell you that it is 2,005 now. But don't pay, don't worry, just collect. He even asks you, how many do you want? He said, I want 5. He said, no, take 5 for 3 free. Then when you now come to pay in 10 years, he said, dollar has gone up. He said, what? Dollar. You know, the devil and Nigeria, they have something similar. You say dollar has gone up. So that's 2,500 is now 2.5 million. Meanwhile, you could have easily just paid for righteousness prepaid at 10,000. A man with foresight understands what the future looks like. He can interpret today's action by examining tomorrow's outcome. Many of you have no consideration of the outcome for the action. Let me explain to you. Please come, sir. Hi. See, I'm not going the way I want to go this morning. You see, as you get older, you realize that action is not action. It takes the eyes of foresight to understand that what? Action It's not action. You know, when you are two children and you are fighting, I will beat you, I beat you, I beat you. You know, that is, you don't require foresight as a child. You know what I'm saying? As an adult, I will show you why you need foresight. You see, this man now can hit my car. I'm just driving my own. He just comes to his car, boom, boom. And he's at fault. He's at fault. Then I come outside. Who do you think you are? How do you hit my car? Are you mad? Are you crazy? Hey, boom! And God forbid, the man falls down right there. And he died. You know, if the police ask me that what happens? What happened? Oga, what happened? You must answer police. My story to police is like this. Sir, I was in high-level runabout. I was driving like this. Like this. And he came like this. And he hit me. So I was very angry. And I came outside. As I was trying to talk to him, he was even smiling. So I now say, let me... So as I now, as I slap him, no, sorry, as I hit him. No, sorry, as I touch him. You have find the lowest denominator. To justify your innocence. Then the man just fell down. It's okay, sir. The man you touch is dead now. In your mind, it was slap, you slapped him. But by the outcome, you have become a murderer. A man of foresight will be angry. He will come out. He will do like this. But he will realize that, there are 1,000 possibilities here. If I hit this guy, number one, he can fall down and die. If I hit him, somebody might have camera viewing me now. And it will look very bad. They will not know that he hit my car first before I slapped him. If I hit him now, he might be going through something. He might even be depressed while he was driving. You see, that is the thinking of foresight. You are thinking far ahead. And then many of you also like oversight. Oversight is to see everything together. Oversight is what gives you the ability to connect varied realities. Oversight is what? What gives you the ability to connect varied realities. The reason why many of you start businesses and when you come to borrow money, you say, sir, this thing I can swear to my father, it will work. Is because you have not considered all the varied realities. So when people come to borrow money from me, I usually ask them, yes, you have told me 5 ways it can succeed. Have you analyzed the 5 other ways it can fail? He says, it cannot fail. So I tell you, it cannot fail. Only a man that lacks foresight says that, because every business can fail. And if you analyze all the prospects and do not connect all the problems, it must fail. Because every business comes with prospects and every business comes with problems. Write it down. Please, thank you very much. God bless you. Many of you, when you analyze a prospect, you always are blind to the problems. And that is the lack of oversight. You may have seen in foresight what the business can become, but when you bring in oversight, you can see all the things around the business. Are you getting me now? The foresight simply means that when I put the maize seed in the ground, it can grow up and give me many maize. Am I correct? The oversight means that if I plant seed, I must water it, I must weed it, I must tender and nurture it. You are trying to attend to every problem. I will put nets so that the goat in my compound will not eat it. That goat cannot be captured if you don't have oversight. Because the seed you planted was good. The land you planted on top was good. But in your equation, you didn't analyze that you have 2 goats in the compound. Are you seeing that now? Yes. Oversight will also tell you that if you want to plant maize, do not plant in November. There is a time to plant maize. So oversight will give you wisdom on timing. Oversight may give you certain wisdoms that foresight cannot provide to you. Foresight will give you excitement. Oversight will give you wisdom. As you want to marry the girl, your foresight is that the way her face is, this her waist can give me fine daughters. Emmanuel. Fine what? Foresight will also tell you that when I carry her to occasion, they will know I am married. I'm married wife. But if you engage oversight, you will notice that in the oversight of even the present, the way she talks when she's angry may be stronger than the way they will celebrate her in the occasions you are going to with her. Because every time she has been angry in courtship, she always hits the table. It was a prophetic sign. When thou seest a table hit, run for thy life. A word came in advance, in foresight. You didn't capture it. When thou seest a table hit by thy beloved, run thee for thy life. You didn't say it. Now, she is angry and she has insulted your mother. Your mother came and said, my daughter, why are you so angry? Say, Mama, mind yourself. I feed you here. Don't talk to me anyhow. You say, my mother? No, she gave you prophetic sign 8 years ago. You didn't see it. Because your passion for her deprived you of the capacity of oversight. They say cryptocurrency, if you put 10,000 is 100,000. You say, this, my life has changed. In that calculation, you did not ask yourself, do you have the address of the office where you are buying into? How can you put, if not that is from your village, they did you, why would you put money in a thing that does not have address? Who did this to you? And you went as far as borrowing money from me also to put. You say this thing is working. It's working. All right? So, because you lack oversight, you did the first one, you got double the money. Second one, if you really had proper oversight that will fund you with wisdom, if you put 10,000 in, it gave you 20,000. Take your 10,000 and pocket it. Then the profit of the 10,000, you put it back. Now, the 10,000 you have put back now is no longer a risk because it was a business that gave you the first 10,000. You will put back that 10,000 to give another 10,000. Take the 10,000 and the next 10,000, which is they're all profits, and put 20,000. Do that for 3 years. If the business is still there after 3 years, go and borrow 10 million. But some of you will do that thing for 3 times. I say, my life, finally, the day has come. My neighbor will see something. That my neighbor's generator today, I will buy Meccano. See that now? Meanwhile, the place you are putting money, there is no address. You say, I deal in cryptocurrency. So, I have not even touched what I wanted to say this morning. And we have just 10 minutes now before Q&A. Oversight and foresight is a prerequisite for wealth creation. Oversight and foresight. The other prerequisite for wealth creation is the capacity for transaction. And the reason why this is very critical, it became stronger in my spirit while Pastor was singing, and then when the hymn was brought up. I am his, and he is mine. The next line is, bought with the precious blood of Christ. You see, many of you think that business and transactions are for only people in the corporate space. What you do not realize is that everything around the kingdom is premised around transactions. Transactions. When God created Adam and Eve, he positioned them in a fruitful land, but gave them currencies of transaction. For you to survive here, you must till the ground, you must keep the place. And he said to them, this one, do not eat it, because if you eat this, you will be trading something too precious and irrevocable. Are you seeing that now? Because when you eat the apple, it is not that you are taking something, it's that you are selling something. That's what God was saying to Adam. He didn't understand. God was trying to advise Adam on certain investments that he should make and investments that he should never make. But Adam did not understand that as far as you are a kingdom man, you are a transactional man. Write it down. The principles that govern for a successful business is exactly the same principles that govern for a successful Christian life. So what I'm trying to say to you is that every believer is in business. Every believer is in business. I know you don't believe me. When Jesus went to the temple at the age of 12, and the father and mother couldn't find him for a few days, when they came back and found him, and they queried him, what did he say? My father's ministry. My father's mission. Can't I be about my father's business? So when we teach you foundational truth of economic business, is to also help you have a fruitful spiritual life, because the principles align with each other. And one of such principles is the principle of transaction. Transactions is the vehicle that propels trade. Please write it down. Transaction is a vehicle that propels trade. And trade is intentional exchange. Is what? Intentional exchange. Now, watch my words very carefully. For you to transact, there must be an exchange. And the narrative of that exchange is that we assume that every exchange was done intentionally. However, your own intentionality of a transaction does not annul the power and the what? And the consequences of the transaction. Can I say that again? Every transaction is to fuel a trade, and every trade is intentional exchange. So I give you something for something, or I take something and give you something. Am I correct? That is a trade. That's a simple summary of a trade. That's what happened when Adam ate the apple. He engaged in a trade, in an exchange. He sold his life, and he procured death when he ate the fruits. Right? When the enemy spoke to him, the enemy came with a marketing skill and said that his wisdom you will get. So, follow me. The enemy marketed to him that he will acquire wisdom. What the enemy didn't tell to him was that with that wisdom comes death. The kind of wisdom that the fruit was going to afford to Abraham in that transaction, Adam, was a wisdom that unlocks death. So, transactions are trades. Trades are intentional exchange. However, your own intentionality in the exchange does not annul the power and the consequences of that transaction. So if, for example, I give this gentleman my phone, please come, sir, and somebody dashed me the phone. Pastor gave me this phone, but I didn't know the value. So I said, I have a problem. I want to pay my MSc school fees. So I give him this phone for 200,000. Do you have the money? Say yes. So he gives me 200,000. By this, I'm telling you, will change your life. He gave me the 200,000 by 2 o'clock. By 2:30, doctor now came and said, And I heard you want to sell your phone. I said, yes, ma. Yes, ma. Then I'm feeling like I'm important. I know I've hammered. I just collected what? My school fees was 180. So I collected 200K. But I didn't factor in that I'll need feeding money. But it doesn't matter. I've sold the phone. In my mind, I thought the phone is free because pastor gave me the phone. And you need to understand that freedom is a very relative term. Everything that is free to you costs somebody something, including your salvation. It was a transaction that somebody paid for and gave to you. That's the song you just sang. He took his blood and pain to acquire you salvation. So even though it came free to you, it is not free. So I know that we have many songs that says that salvation is free, but the actual truth is that salvation is not free because it was paid for. But it's just that the person that paid for it gave it to us for free. But there will be a price to pay to retain the status of the salvation. The same thing like a business. That's why many inherited business usually fails. Because you did not pay to build a business, but you forgot that somebody paid for it. So when it came to you for free, you took it anyhow. And in 3 years, a business your father built in 30 years died in your hand in 3 years. You must respect the purchase price of whatever you have. Whether it came to you for free or not, you must always consider the purchase price. So I sold this phone to him now at 200,000. 30 minutes later, she calls me that I heard you want to sell phone. I said, yes, ma. Is this still available? I said, why, ma? He said, no, I want to buy. But he said, Apeh, please help me. Help me. I said, why, ma? He said, the only money I have for that phone is 1 million. It's only 1 million. I know that the phone is worth 2 million, but please, can I pay 1 million? Then, and I come to him, I say, what's your name? Ifyok. You know, we have been in the same church for 3 years. I know the journey of problem begins with two actually. When you hear actually said twice, that is the beginning of every problem. Ifyok, actually, I didn't know the value of this phone when I sold it to you. Can I refund your money back and collect the phone? And Ifyok says never. Because Ifyok also knows that the God that answers by fire answered for him when I accepted the 200,000. Now, if I carry Ifyok now to the best police in the world, what do you think will happen? They will ask you, sir, how much did you tell him you want to sell the phone? I say, I told him 200,000. Did he price the money? No, sir. Honestly, he did not price. Did he pay the money? Yes, sir. He paid me the money. So what's your problem? He said, somebody else came and offered me more. He said, no, that's not the issue. The issue is that did you sell it for 200,000 or did he steal the phone? He didn't steal it. Honestly, actually. See, actually has come back again. I didn't know the value of the phone when I sold it. But how much did you tell the man? I told him 200,000. So I'm not denying that I told him 200,000. But I'm saying that I want my phone back. Did he pay you the 200,000? The unintentionality of the transaction does not annul the transaction. This is why you still need oversight and foresight. Before you sell the phone, did you spend 2 days, 3 days, 5 days to find out the real value of the phone before you sold it? You allowed the problem to speak louder than wisdom. You responded to pressing need and not prospective future. Many of you have done things because you are responding to a pressing need without analyzing the prospect of the future. And many times it is the future that should determine how you respond to a pressing need. The pressing need may not go anywhere. However, the pressing need can never be louder than the volume that your future provides. The moment your pressing need has a higher volume than your future, there is already a problem. At every point in your life, as a man, a woman, a boy, a girl, you must always allow the volume of your future to outweigh the volume of your problem. Otherwise, you will sell out things that you need in the future for a pressing problem that will die tomorrow. Are you following me at all? Thank you very much. The way I'm holding this for, I don't like it. The way the guy was padding the phone, he's convinced he has bought it for 200,000. Come and say transaction. So when you think about investments, you must understand the science of transactions. And if you understand the science of transactions, you will also understand that it's not only money that is a requirement for transactions. There are things you can buy and things you can sell without money. But it still comes with the wisdom of trade. Many of you don't have the attitude of trade. And maybe when next I come to teach you practical examples of businesses, I will tell you that there is a wisdom that you find in the skill of a trade, and there's a wisdom you find in the trade of the skill. Because you can have the skill of a trade, but you will lack the trade of the skill. Does that make any sense to you? You can have the skill to sew dress, but you don't know how to sell the dress. You have developed a skill for the trade. You have the skill. You are the best tailor in town, but you are the poorest tailor in town. You are the best chef in town, but you are the poorest chef in town. Because as you learned how to cook, you didn't learn how to sell. Did you get that now? So now you have acquired the skill of a trade, but you don't have the wisdom to trade the skill. So you are shortchanging yourself. When we were about to open the hotel, we had a board meeting with my wife and the managers that we engaged for the hotel. And I wanted to put the room rates at an amount. I was sentimental. I said, look, I just want the best hotel at the cheapest price. They said, no, don't try it. Don't try it. So they gave me wisdom to value the hotel rooms properly. And I did not know that 2 months later, petrol will go from 190 to 600. If I had followed my mind, I would have been in trouble now. So you must learn trades. Even when you want to marry, you must learn how to trade. You must learn what to sell to your husband and what to buy from your husband. You must learn what to sell to your wife and what to buy from your wife. You must even know how to trade with your children. In our house, heaven knows my wife is here, I can lock my study for hours in prayers. But you will never hear me telling my children, come and sit down with me and pray for 2 hours. No, because there's a way I want to market what I want to sell. I want them to first begin to admire the impact of my life before I enforce the principles of my life. If they begin to love the way daddy is, they want to know, how did daddy become this way? But many of you are imposing on them the principles when they have not seen the fruits in your life. You keep saying, don't watch TV, and you are always Telemundo. Tele what? Telemundo 8 hours, and then you can't allow your children watch TV for 1 hour. And then they begin to become rebellious because they think that your approach is unfair. Sometimes call them to come and watch TV with you. When you have now watched TV with them, food is okay. Now go and read your books. There we go. You must. Everything in your life requires the wisdom of transaction. So let me stop with this now. I've shot beyond my time. Let's read one scripture and we'll begin the Q&A. Can you come and set the chairs for the Q&A now? I'll be done in 10 minutes. Acts chapter 3 verse 6. Acts chapter 3 verse 6. And Peter said, I know we all know the scripture. Peter said what? Silver is there. Then Peter said, silver and gold have I none. Which one does he have? Which one does he have? Which one does he have? No, answer like we believe now. Silver and gold have I none, but such as I have, give I thee. In the name of Jesus Christ, rise up and walk. Silver and gold I don't have. But such as I have, I give. This wisdom, We'll continue from here maybe next year. This wisdom carries in it oversight and foresight. In the oversight of the apostles, they began to analyze what they do not have. Imano. You know, some of you, when you are looking at your friend's status on Instagram, you forget whose daughter you are. Akunanyi, you are forgotten. You, Okpoko girl like this, that went to Okpoko grammar school. You just finished your first ever job that made sense was 18,200. And you are trying to find out the maker of the natural hair that your friend is wearing on Instagram. The guest father is the commissioner's daughter. And you want to analyze silver and gold you have not. See, when you want to enter something, enter with this wisdom. When we're doing a hotel, my friend called me from Lagos, a multi-billionaire. You should know him. Multi-billionaire. He has one of the best hotels in Lagos. A room in that hotel is... excuse me. Excuse me. In case you are wondering, because I know some of you are taking your mind now. That morning, what kind of night? It's the same night that you have. It's the same time there. They don't give you, the night is no longer. No. The room does not guarantee long life and prosperity. I know you are wondering, like, is it for 24 hours or 29 hours? No, it may not even be up to 24 hours because you arrive maybe by 2 p.m. today and you check out 12. So he began to advise me on things that I should do in